Tonight, the man accused of killing local dance student Haruka Weiser in Texas took the stand today.
And he claimed the reason he was caught burning her belongings was just mere coincidence.
No parent, no brother, nor sister or friend should have to face this kind of sadness.
Not all homeless people are good. Some experience varying degrees of mental instability, which makes them extremely dangerous. Haruka Weiser was a victim of one of these dangerous individuals.
That he'd been illegally living in a storage space on the University of Texas campus and had broken into another building.
Texas is well known for its barbecue and cowboy culture, among other entertaining and fascinating facts. But what is commonly not talked about is its rapidly growing crime rate. Culled from FBI data, Texas ranks as the 11th most dangerous state in the US.
She was just the most beautiful person. She was going to do so many incredible things.
Haruka, until the unfortunate event, was an 18-year-old energy-filled teenager who was a lot of things. She was a dance major at the University of Texas in Austin, an amazing daughter, sibling, and friend. She had a lot of years ahead of her, and certainly a bright future that was abruptly brought to an end.
My heart is really heavy for the family and what they must be going through.
Born on 20th of June of 1997 in Portland, Oregon, she attended the Arts and Communications Magnet Academy in Beaverton and stood out because of her exceptional dance moves and dedication to improving her craft.
It was evident from the start that she was a dancer in her soul.
Weiser got a scholarship to Texas to major in dance. She was also involved in Dance Action, a student-run organization for dancers. Weiser could be everything she was because she had a great support system. Her parents, siblings, and friends. These were constant figures in her life that genuinely cheered her on.
She loved to perform. It just brought her so much joy and made her fall in love with it all over again.
And encouraged her to reach for the stars. Outside being good at dancing, she also excelled in sciences and was taking a pre-med course alongside with her dance course. At the University of Texas, this young girl was the pride of everyone that encountered her.
Passionate about everything she did, but also, like we said, humble. She never bragged about it or talked about it.
On May 4th of April of 2016, tragedy struck Weiser's family and the entire UT Austin community when she was reported missing after it was observed that she had missed her Monday morning classes. The last time she was seen or heard from was the previous day, when she called her friends to let her know that she was on her way back from her class that was held at Lauren Winship Drama Building. For someone extremely focused and determined, it was very strange to have her not show up for her lectures. A search was conducted, and all the places she was taught to have been in the previous days were thoroughly searched, and the end result was one that was going to traumatize her loved ones for a long time. The day after Haruka's disappearance, a body was found covered with brush along Waller Creek. The police reported that there were obvious signs of trauma, and upon investigations, the body was confirmed to be Weiser. Her family back at Portland and the management of Arts and Communications Magnet Academy were thrown into complete shock. There are people whose death you wouldn't think would happen so soon.
No brother, nor sister or friend should have to face this kind of sadness, this kind of loss.
And Haruka was sadly one of those. The police had to check the surveillance videos around the area, and it didn't take long for them to nab their suspect. Mikhail Kreiner. Mikhail Kreiner was a homeless 17-year-old at the time of the incident. He was born by a woman who was declared mentally unfit to raise a child, and was taken from her. He was in foster care for some time and was taken in by his grandmother. At foster care, he was diagnosed with autism, schizophrenia, and depression. He left his grandmother's house over 300 miles away from Austin and slept wherever he could. Surveillance videos show him riding a bike in the university campus around the same time Haruka walked past. He followed her and they both got into a camera blind spot. What followed was him holding a duffel bag, which was later identified by Haruka's friends as hers. Earlier, while the search for Western was still on, firefighters were dispatched to a call at 2911 Medical Arch Street, where they found burning items at an abandoned building. They identified him as a homeless teenager, and they made the logical decision to send him off to a local shelter, alongside what he claimed was his belongings. They kept the bike anyways, and thank goodness they did, because that was how he was caught after what he had done had been uncovered.
But it's also very important for this community to realize that we are very certain that the subject we have in custody, the suspect is in custody, is the suspect responsible for the death of this beautiful young woman.
Mikhail was arrested and held in custody while the police carried out more investigations. It was later discovered that Mikhail had sexually assaulted Haruka before strangling her. What he was doing when the firefighters found him at the Medical Arts Street was destroying evidence. Realizing this, detectives gathered up the debris and they found some female clothing pieces and a MacBook with a Portland sticker on it. All of these were identified to be Haruka's belongings. Mikhail was charged with capital murder and had a jury trial presided over by Judge David Wahlberg of Travis County Court. Judge David expressed his desire not to have a prolonged hearing of this case, and so is scheduled to run from July 9th to July 20th of 2018.
Delayed again, Mikhail Kreiner is charged with capital murder in the death of Haruka Weiser. Today, his attorneys say the trial is delayed at least until May because they are waiting on DNA results and scheduling conflicts.
The prosecuting counsel made a case about Haruka being sexually assaulted before being murdered, but after noticing disparities in the DNA result, Judge Wahlberg dismissed it and refused to admit it as evidence. With this, the court ruling began while the entire University of Texas, as well as family and friends of Haruka, held their breaths, praying that justice is served.
Defendants make very, very compelling witnesses.
In the course of bringing up witnesses, Mikhail did something shocking. He decided to take the stand. The judge reminded him that he was forfeiting his right to silence, but he went on. If you think he was going to go on and on about his claims of innocence in the regular way we see in other suspects, you were wrong. Like a man with tricks up his sleeves, Mikhail told the quiet court, "Y'all should focus on continuing the investigation afterwards, because I am more worried about who really did it." Wait a second, is there a chance in the world that Mikhail was innocent of these charges and was just a victim of being at the wrong place at the wrong time? Or had he just perfected the act of manipulation over the years?
Call him by his name. They always try to dehumanize him and act like he's just more of a piece of furniture than he is a living, breathing individual.
On July 20th of 2018, a jury consisting of 7 women and 5 men found Mikhail Kreiner guilty of capital murder, and because he was 17 at the time of committing the crime, he escaped the death penalty and was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term of 40 years before he was eligible for parole. When this verdict was read out, Mikhail showed no emotion, not even a flinch. Haruka's father spoke on behalf of the family, and while he was unhappy that his daughter was stolen from him, he was happy that no other young girl would suffer the same fate in the hands of Mikhail. After the court's judgment, Haruka's father spoke to the press.
For the rest of my life, I'll be reminding the Texas State Board of Paroles and Pardons that he should never be released. It's my duty as Haruka's father and my responsibility to the citizens of this state.
Every year, on the anniversary of Haruka's passing, friends, family, and University of Texas community members pay their respects by leaving flowers at the location where she was discovered. Following her murder, the university increased campus security, and this is an attempt to make sure that one such incident never happens again. Who do we blame for the destructive way Mikhail turned out to be? His absent mother, abusive grandmother, or his medical conditions? No matter how much pain he must have gone through as a child, it doesn't change the fact that he gruesomely took the life of a girl who could have been a huge asset to her